All right, Hunter, let's take a look at your paper. Emily, format first, so this is good. This is good, except you don't need the comma there. Trust the process is kind of your mantra here, which is fine. Although you use the same phrase in your introduction, so I don't know if it's good enough for a title too. So becoming rich and famous has no comma and will always be an American dream. Um, People just don't understand how to get there. So you're jumping right into your topic right off the bat. I'd rather have you start with this. Um, Obviously, then change the title, but I'd rather have you start with this and then talk about how, you know, people who are successful know the path that they have to take and won't deviate from that path. And they trust that what they're doing is correct, which is how it relates to the following the American dream, so on and so forth. So, um, but careful capitalization errors. You have space issues here, too many spaces. Um, you'll get on the fast track on the road to riches. So you're introducing your topic. All right, so there are 4 steps. How will following these steps, read the sentence, lead you to becoming rich and famous is simple as long as you do as the steps state. So obviously we got some problems there with that sentence. Again, this seems out of place. This needs to be a period here. If you follow the steps to becoming famous religiously, so I think this is a good word choice thing. If you follow the steps religiously to becoming famous, so what is this modifying? Okay, it will be very, don't use very, Hunter, and no comma here. Since comma conjunctions, you only have 2 complete sentences. You don't have a complete sentence here. All right, so basically following the steps religiously is rewarding and worth the wait. Hopefully that really is your theme, and we'll see as we get going. But try to reformat this opening paragraph and reword some things, and just little things like, Hunter, when you get to college, capitalization mistakes like this, having too many spaces. I mean, those little things are what is going to bog you down from setting yourself apart from anyone else. And you have a good voice naturally, in class and everything, but sometimes it doesn't come through in here. And that's what you want a professor to see in the future, is your really good voice in here. So keep working on that voice. All right, so your first body paragraph is analyzing the field. Now, what you're going to run into is, because you're saying basically whatever your chosen path is. Now remember, this is a guide to being rich and famous. But if you're not specific, it's really hard to have a good voice while also having really specific examples, because this is all vague information. I also want you to count how many times you use the word analyze in this paragraph. 1, 2, 3. I think there's a 4th down here, something. 4. Okay. So using the same word a lot. This is a sentence fragment. So analyze past failed. So give me an example. So-and-so did this, you do not want to do that. So-and-so did this, you don't want to do this. But, learn from their mistakes. So-and-so, did this and really help them out. But again, because you don't have a specific industry, you can't really tell me much. Understand the industry as much as you can. Okay, well, what industry? Learn who to talk to, where to go, and how to get there. Network with people to make this easier on yourself. But you have to do whatever it takes and get your foot in the door and start your career. So again, it's so vague. There's nothing specific. It doesn't separate it from anything. So you need to work on that. So once you have a foot in the door, comma, you have to do whatever you can to keep a grip on your current position. So I like that idea. Now, something happened with your space here. Let me show you how to fix this real quick. So once you get into your paper, so you see how this is tabbed correctly, this is not. Select everything that's not, right up to there. And then see this little blue arrow? That's the left indent. It should be all the way over here. So now you should be lined up with the rest of it. So that was some free advice from Mr. Brasher, so you're welcome. All right, so let's get into having your foot in the door. All right, so this one is actually about starting small and not about, sort of, you talk about keeping a grip on your current position. So So once you analyze the market, then you're going to start small. Most of this is about building your own business. I really think you need to focus on that too, the idea that you're sort of building your own empire at this particular point. Good quote, period, right here. So opening the door further, I don't think furthermore is the right word, so further. In order to start small, comma, you'll have to do what the competition won't do. So here's a good place to use a colon here, the little things. So here are some examples of what you can do. Can go a long way in making people notice you, something like that. Word choice a little bit. If you bring a positive energy to people around you, people will certainly notice and will want you to be around them more. So maybe rephrase that whole want thing and around. I like this, sponge to knowledge. That's a really good word choice. You'll soon rise from just some average Joe, no comma, to a rising star. Again, Hunter, nothing too specific. You do have a little bit more specific things in here, but really nothing to separate yourself because it's not specifically focused on like a certain kind of business or whatever. It's hard to get real specific. So keep finding ways that you can add that specificity to your writing. All right, so the next part is giving back. You got run-on sentence here. Let us, so let apostrophe s. How will you stay there? So this is interesting. You're going to stay a star by giving back, which I think is a really interesting concept. Big stars, comma, to make a mark, comma, need to always give back. People do not forget that, comma, especially those who get your help, okay, period. Now, this be careful with because you've been very humble in your main points up to this point, but this is getting into cocky territory. So be careful because it's really not the tone that you're set up so far, especially when your next thing is about making some family movies. Okay, again, use examples. Okay, so and so, was a action star until he made, maybe Arnold Schwarzenegger until he made Kindergarten Cop or something like that, or The Rock when he made all his little family movies, something like that. So figure out ways that you can add that in there. Build a bigger fan base, which is fine. But again, it's almost like we went from business owner to full-on like movie star celebrity. Because why would I guess this could kind of be applied to actors, but I didn't really get an actor vibe out of any of this, especially because it's so vague. But now this is certainly, it is celebrity. You're talking about celebrity being a celebrity, but now we're full-fledged acting. So just be conscientious about how this is all gonna work together. Spent your legacy. Yet, comma, there's one more thing that can set in stone your legacy. Don't use legacy twice like that, and have a better transition. Now that you're giving back, now it's time to die a cruel death. I don't know, something like that will be your last point. All right, so the last main point is to die. And certainly, again, when you think about the tone of the piece, again, the beginning it was very matter of fact and very humble and work hard and do all this and then become charitable, which is fine, but then you start changing the tone a little bit with some of what you were saying. And this one is just straight up, it's almost silly to a point, but there's two different things in here that I want to talk about. So you have a run-on sentence here. If you die at the peak of your legacy, comma, you'll be remembered for all you did and what more you could have done. John Candy, comma, Chris Farley, capitalized, comma, and Selena. Passed away too soon, will always be remembered for what they did. Semicolon, it will always be thought what more they could have done. Actually, let's just take that out since you've already said that up here. However, we'll assure you that you'll always be remembered. If you want to not die for good reason, there's a loophole. So let's rephrase this, okay? There's a way to, quote, die without really dying or something like that. Shakur needs to be capitalized. Cuba needs to be capitalized. Don't use very. Legit is certainly a very informal word in this paragraph. So is it the right tone? So this is good, good advice or good statement. It's working for him. This is tacked on, not really part of the sentence, so I don't know if I'd use that at all for this. But figure out how you want to really form this paragraph and how it fits in tonally with the rest of the paper. All right, with your conclusion, remember, start with your thesis statement, a strong restatement of your thesis statement, which this is just the question at the beginning. So even read this. The question at the end is, how didn't these steps make you famous? Hunter, you really need to take a step in second before you hand in a paper. Really go through these sentences again, or have someone else read it and make sure they're on the right track. Okay. Remember your body paragraphs. They get a sentence summary per body paragraph. You messed up somewhere. And I would even maybe put a period and then start off a new sentence with this. I really got excited that it was Marty Hale, but I know we joked about that in class. But again, this is the this is the way to do it. So don't ever say that your methods won't work. So don't give up too fast. All you have to do is trust the process and good things are to come, which you're repeating yourself a lot about trusting the process, since you just talked about it up there. So just be careful of that. Works cited page moves up a couple more. And really, I feel like this is wrong. Like if I look this up, whatever's in quotes should go first, and then Goodreads will be after it. There's a specific way to cite social media. If you look on the OWL website, Hunter, it'll tell you how to do it. But I feel like these are a little bit off here. All right, Hunter, think about organization. Think about how you want everything to kind of flow together. And let's make this paper great again, okay?